G'day and welcome to MotoringBox. On today's episode, I'm going to be coming clean about my AU Fairmont's dirty little secret. Now, for those of you who are not familiar with my channel, I'm Sean McKellar and this is my 2001 Ford AU Fairmont Ghia, which I purchased about 18 months ago now. And during the time that I've owned the car, it's proved itself to be extremely reliable. It's easily the most reliable car I currently own. And over the past 18 months, we've gone on many different journeys together, including an epic 1,000 kilometre road trip down to Sydney and back, where I even entered the car into the Mighty Car Mods Motorcraft, where it kicked ass, as every single AU Falcon would. But the crazy thing about this car is it didn't actually come with a single service history record of any kind. I don't know where this car's been, what it's been doing, or who's been looking after it, if at all. But the dirty secret I have with this car is I haven't actually serviced it since I've owned it. I've gone against pretty much everything I stand for. I didn't change the oil, I didn't change the filters, I didn't even change the spark plugs or the leads. And really, that's probably something you should be doing straight away when you buy a used car with an unknown service history. It's something I've been meaning to do and to get to, but there's always been something else to spend money on and do instead. So I just kept putting it off, and here we are 18 months later, and it's still running the oil that it came with when I bought it. So today I'm going to try and set things right. We're going to put fresh oil into this car, replace the oil filter, the air filter, the fuel filter, the spark plugs and the spark plug leads. So let's head back to the garage and I'll see if I can make things right. So what are we actually doing today? Well, the first thing is we're going to swap out the spark plugs and the spark plug leads. As I mentioned, this car doesn't have any service history at all. So I definitely think a fresh set of Ford Motorcraft spark plugs and spark plug leads are going to make a world of difference to this engine. Spark plugs and leads are probably something you only need to change every sort of 80 to 100,000 kilometers. But seeing as I don't know when these will last change, I'm going to whack a fresh set in. So that's cool. The next thing I'm going to change is of course the engine oil. And I've gone for this Nulon full synthetic 10 weight 40. Ford actually recommend a 10 weight 30 for this engine from factory, but the logic I'm using here is this second number, the 40, is actually the weight of the oil, or the thickness of the oil I should say, when the engine is hot. And the higher the number means the thicker the oil. So I've actually bumped it up from the 30 to the 40, just because this engine is over 180,000 kilometers now. And running a slightly thicker oil will mean that the engine won't burn as much oil if it was burning any in the first place. So I think that's a good bit of insurance right there. So we've got the oil. And if you're going to be changing the engine oil, you of course need to change the oil filter. So I've got a Ryco Z9 filter here. I've always used Ryco products because I haven't really experienced any problems with them and they seem to be built really well and do the job. So from here on out, it's a bit of a Ryco party. I've got the oil filter. I've also got a new air filter because the one in here looks really old. So that's cool, we'll whack that in as well. And also, if we've got time, I'm going to whack in this Ryco fuel filter because again, I don't know when the fuel filter in this was changed, if at all. It could still be the factory filter, I've got no idea. And then also for a future video, I'm going to be changing the transmission filter and of course the transmission oil as well. But yeah, that's basically the job for today, guys. I'm going to drop the existing oil out of the engine first to see what it looks like, and then we'll swap out the filters, drop in the new oil, and then we'll go from there. Now, I can hardly believe I'm saying this, but the first step is to jack up your car. Stick it on some jack stands and then locate the sump bolt on the bottom of your engine. In the case of the AU Falcon, it's a 15mm bolt, so get your 15mm socket and start backing it out. Loosen it to a point where you can undo it the rest of the way by hand, and then quickly but carefully pull it out of the way of the stream of oil. As I expected, the existing oil looks absolutely horrendous, and I actually like to tip a couple of 100 mils of fresh oil down the engine to try and flush out the remaining oil in the bottom of the sump. While you're waiting for the remainder of the oil to drip out slowly, you can also pull off the existing oil filter. If you don't have an oil filter removal tool like this one, you can actually hammer a flat-bladed screwdriver directly through the filter. and then use the screwdriver as a sort of lever to start spinning the oil filter off in an anti-clockwise direction. Because this filter hangs downwards, it's going to have its own pool of oil inside. So when you start undoing it, make sure the oil pan is sitting directly underneath to catch any oil that spills out, because there's going to be a lot of it. Once the oil is finished draining, you can refit the sump bolt. And it's at this point that some people recommend that you replace the sump bolt washer with a brand new item to prevent leaks when you pour in your fresh oil. With the sump bolt in place, I'm going to pull out the oil drainage pan and check out some of the oil which has come out of this engine. As you'd expect, it looks ghastly, jet black in fact. So when you've finished admiring how dirty the oil is, you can tip it into an old container, like this coolant bottle I've handily got available. A 6-litre one should do the job, and then you can safely dispose of it at your nearest waste collection centre. So before we can tip fresh oil into the engine, we need to reinstall the oil filter. It's a really good idea to smear a bit of oil onto the rubber seal to ensure it seals correctly. With the oil filter suitably lubricated, we can screw it back onto the engine before tipping in the fresh oil. And for the AU Falcon 6-cylinder, we need to add approximately 5.5 litres. Because we've replaced the oil filter, it's important to realise that after you start the engine, after the fill, a certain amount of oil is going to top up that filter and reduce the amount of oil which is in the sump. So make sure you double check the oil level after you've had the engine running a bit later on. Now that we've got the oil filter installed and the fresh oil tipped into the engine, I'm going to turn my attention to the spark plugs. Pull off the spark plug leads and then get your spark plug socket and start backing the old plugs out. It shouldn't take a lot of force to get them moving, but do make sure that you treat them with care so you don't split them up the middle, which can happen sometimes if you treat them roughly. Now, I'm not a spark plug expert, but I dare say these old plugs are looking a little bit worse for wear. So it's going to be really satisfying to swap these out for a brand new set. Installing the new spark plugs is actually fairly easy. Make sure you've got the plug lined up properly with the hole and then gently start screwing them in by hand. Once the plug is starting to screw in smoothly, you can use your socket. Once you start encountering resistance, I like to give it about an additional half turn of force to make sure the plug is nipped up properly. Repeat this process for cylinders 1 through 6, and then we can start looking at the spark plug leads. Now, I actually encountered a bit of a problem here. I started pulling out the existing spark plug leads after I located the coil pack block, which is inconveniently under the intake manifold. But I soon realised that the new leads that I have are actually the wrong type. They definitely weren't going to attach to the coil packs, so unfortunately I had to abandon this part of the maintenance and refit the existing leads. The next step is to swap out the air filter, and luckily this is a lot more straightforward. Simply undo all of the clips on the airbox and you can simply pull the existing filter out and put the new one in. It's an easy job, but definitely one that's worth doing. So next up, I'm going to replace the fuel filter, and before I do that, I decided it might be a good idea to pull a fuse, which runs down to the fuel pump. The reason I'm doing this is to hopefully relieve some of the pressure which is on the fuel which is still in the line. To locate your fuel filter in an AU Falcon, simply jack up the passenger side of the car, and then stick your head underneath the car just in front of the rear differential. You should see it mounted up beside one of the chassis rails. In order to undo the fuel lines, you're going to need a 14mm spanner, and to try and hold the fuel filter still, a 19mm spanner can be used to do that job. Make sure you spray a little bit of WD-40 on the threads in case they're stiff, and then start backing out the connectors. Even though we have depressurized the fuel line, there is going to be a little bit of fuel still leaking out, so make sure you have a little drainage container on the floor directly underneath to try and catch it. We should be able to pull the filter out of the housing, and we can put our new filter in its place. Installing the fuel lines is pretty much the opposite of removing them. Feed them into place and start screwing the connectors into the fuel filter. Put your 19mm spanner onto the fuel filter bolt itself, and then use your 14mm to start tightening the fuel line. In order to avoid leaks, you're going to need to tighten these as tightly as possible. Once you've got the fuel pump relay reinstalled, you can switch on the car and check that there's no leaks. With the new filter installed, I'm going to grab the old filter and try and empty the contents out into this clear container. to try and get an indication of what's lurking inside. And as you can see from some of the crap that's coming out of this thing, this fuel filter was really overdue for replacement. It's probably one of the worst I've ever seen. I've got no idea when it was changed, if it's been changed at all, but it's definitely a good thing that we've got this out of the car and replaced with a fresh item. Alright guys, so I am done for today. For the most part, it all went pretty smoothly, but unfortunately those spark plug leads, as you would have seen, even though they were genuine Ford Motorcraft, they didn't fit. They weren't anywhere near close, so it's a shame. They're obviously for some other Falcon of some kind, but just not this one. The old spark plugs, as I suspected, were looking really ratty, and if you saw the shit that came out of that fuel filter, I'm really glad to have swapped that out for a new one. So hopefully, if I go to start this car up, it should start up a lot smoother, a lot faster, hopefully, than it did before. So let's give it a shot.